Hello there and welcome to another reading on Vosk, aka Voiced Out Stories by Kwame. My name is Kwame and I'm reading another piece from my friend, the amazing writer Kenny Ribeiro. Check out her blog at kennykojo.com, linked in the description below. And this is part 2 of the story, Call Me Kwesi. Get your headphones, get comfortable, and enjoy. Denise squinted at the monitor and made a mental note to go see the optician before the end of the month. Determined to finish working on the proposal before lunchtime, she took a swig from her water bottle and got to work. Aquile had been giving her grief lately and she was determined to get it right this time. From the corner of her eye, she could see Jonathan sauntering in her direction, intermittently stopping to flirt with every woman he met on his way.
I love the color red on you, Estelle. Those shoes though. When are we going on a date, Akia? You can't pretend you don't feel this chemistry too. Ish, that post-pregnancy glow. Your husband is a lucky man, girl.
Just like that, he had a line for every single woman on the floor, which probably explains why he chose a desk at the farthest corner of the room. Anytime he had to make a photocopy or get water from the dispenser, he had the perfect excuse to work the room. Even prim and proper Isaba got her fair share of Jonathan love.
If our daughters grow up and be as half as organized as you are, I would know that I've made it in life.
Seeing that Jonathan had spotted Grace dozing off after her rather heavy meal of kinke, ground pepper, corned beef, sardines, fried eggs, and avocado pear, Denise smiled to herself in anticipation of the mischief-laden episode ahead. He picked up one of Isabe's color-coded folders and dropped it on the floor with a bang. The bang jolted Grace out of her nap. She exclaimed,
"My lord, my God!"
loud enough to draw the attention of everyone on the floor. The icing on the cake was when Jonathan soothingly rubbed her back and said,
"Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. Did I wake you?"
Unable to control herself any longer, Denise burst into laughter and picked up her documents. There was no way she was going to get any work done if she stayed at her desk. Making her way to the meeting room down the hall, she heard Kwesi laugh. She could recognize his voice even through a rainstorm. And yes, her heart rate quickened every time she did. She followed the sound and turned the corner just in time to see Kwesi plant a kiss on the woman's cheek. The woman beamed, stroked his cheek and started making her way towards Denise. Thankfully, Kwesi had not seen her yet, so she didn't have to put on a fake smile. Feeling her knees go weak, Denise leaned against the wall as the woman walked past her. She was elegant and very well dressed. She had the air of a woman who knew what she wanted and also knew just how to get it. For a very heavy-set woman, she had rather nimble feet and she moved gracefully, almost as though she was dancing. Denise was almost surprised at the overwhelming covetousness that swelled up in her. Suddenly, she wanted to be that woman, to be able to embrace Kwesi without any judgmental looks. She knew she should have sent that text message to him when she had the chance. That text had mistakenly gone to her cousin Kwekuma, and she had sworn him to secrecy by promising that she would handle it. It wasn't easy because Kwekuma was particularly fond of Kojo. But when she got to work the next day, she suddenly didn't have the courage to send it to Kwesi, and she definitely wasn't ready to tell Kojo. Besides, it wasn't like there was really anything to tell. Things had gone back to normal. In fact, she had spent the entire weekend with Kojo and his family, making plans for the wedding. So this feeling was strange. It almost felt like an out-of-body experience.
"Denise!"
She looked up and saw Kwesi walking towards her, with a smile on his face.
"Just the woman I want to see.
I wanted us to go over the numbers for the Hills Burn project, and I have just the book for you. And The Mountains Echoed by Khalid Hussein.
Lunch?"
I need to speak to you, Kwesi," she said so softly that she was even surprised that he heard her.
"Okay, sure. Now or over lunch?"
"Now, it can't wait," she replied curtly. Pulling him into the meeting room, Denise took a deep breath. "I know this is crazy and completely unprofessional, but I'd like to know who that woman is. I know I have no right to ask, but I just felt funny when I saw you together. Felt almost like jealousy, and I know that will eat me up if I keep it bottled up. I don't even feel like I have a right to be jealous in the first place."
"Laura? That's my ex-wife. She came to talk to me about."
"You don't need to explain."
But you asked. Denise, listen. I was hoping we would not get to this point anytime soon. Though I must admit that I knew this day would come. I think you're one of the most beautiful women in this office, and your laughter is like music to my ears. And no, I'm not just saying that. I mean every word. But I like the things the way they are, uncomplicated. What we have going on here is what we call the forbidden fruit syndrome. It's exhilarating because it's unrealistic and forbidden, if you like. But that is all it can ever be. The fling that never was.
I see.
Don't get me wrong. I get the feeling too when I see you laughing with Jonathan and the other guys, but I know it's not my place to feel that way. You belong to another man and I need to respect that.
Maybe I should keep my distance then. Keeps things in perspective, wouldn't you agree? It's better to give each other space so that I don't have to deal with things like this. Funny, I almost sent you a text proposing this a while ago, but I didn't because I didn't have the courage to deal with the repercussions. Goodbye, Kwesi. She walked to the door and then paused, almost as though she was reconsidering her decision. She turned and looked at him. I'll send you the numbers via email. Take care of yourself. Months passed. It was hard at first, but she got used to walking past him in the hallway without saying hello. She learned how to keep her eyes away from his when they were in the same room. And now he was no longer Kwesi, just Mr. Ahin. She had lunch alone, at her desk. The smell of his perfume no longer triggered palpitations. At the mid-year party, he offered to get her a drink and she politely declined. Her body brushed against his in the hallway and she flinched unconsciously. Of course, it was only Jonathan who had the nerve to ask about it.
What? You and your lover broke up? Let me be your rebound. I'll treat you right, I promise.
He teased before wrapping her in a hug.
I can tell you from experience this is going to hurt for a while, but one day it will be like nothing ever happened. Trust me, I know.
You had an office fling?
With which women?
You won't believe it, but Aquile was the one.
You've got to be kidding me.
No wonder she can't stand me. I half expected you to even see Isaba.
Isaba? She won't even let me hold her hand without reaching for her hand sanitizer. You honestly see us working out?
Denise laughed out loud for the first time in a long time. It felt good. Later that day, she sat in her chair before she saw it. There was a book lying on her desk. Khalid Hussein's And the Mountains echoed. That wasn't all. There was a note in it. In spite of herself, she smiled. My dearest Denise, it is painful to walk past you in the hallway or to avoid your eyes when we're in the same room. But this I can do without breaking protocol and still put a smile on your face. At least reading is something we can do together, even if we are not in the same space. I miss you. Yours always, Kwesi. She blinked back the tears and began to read.